Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. So today we're working on our new product from Mindify AI. It's called Factor Space. And Factor Space is a knowledge base for AI engineer. Essentially the idea is we orchestrating some of the most commonly used content, resource, and also the toolkit in generative AI, especially for building LLM-driven application. And I found a lot of people here really want to be AI engineers. And what I mean by AI engineer is a post from Latent Space. It's called the Rise AI Engineer. Yeah, this one here. So the idea here is like there's an ML researcher, the research scientist, which a lot of them are in OpenAI or Google DeepMind, and they train large model or other kind of generative AI model like Gemini and Starfake Cloud, and also like ChatGPT, GPT-3 or GPT-4, and potentially GPT-5 in the future. And they do training and do also do evals, in which evaluating how good the model is. And once they have that, they will have it working with a group of engineers to do housing and building infra that support this model. So we have an API endpoint. So now they create an API that we can easily access to Python or JavaScript or any kind of a API interface. And once we have this, then we can utilize this as a resource. So we are not ML engineer, we are not AI resource scientist or resource engineer. We are more like in the combination of both. Both, which means that we are a combination of full stack engineer and also like ML engineer, which are like mostly like a full stack product folks building LLM driven application. And what do you mean? Why the reason why this is so critical today? Not if you are full stack, what are the reason why you should learn this AI engineering stuff? What would the reason why you should shift right to the engineering? The reason for that is utility, because more and more people are in the company as well are facilitating such a solution. Even in Taiwan, for example, a lot of like local companies, they are not like a frontier like tech company, but they really want to have this technology in place to be competitive. So if you have capability to deploy that, that will be very competitive, very advantageous in the next couple of years. Apart from that, what is really fun to do this such like application. So really recommend you guys to learn more about it. And so, but if you're trying to learn that, for example, like LangChain alone, like LangChain, there's a bunch of stuff up there. There's if we just look at LangChain docs, it's a bunch of resources and integration. For example, you can look at the model provider. There's already like 5 or 6 model for and more. Like there's Mistral, there's Fireworks, and also Google, Hugging Face, and there's a lot of people up there. And if you look at the embedding model, for example, there's just too many info up there for just one orchestration platform, but there's a bunch of them. And for example, there's a technique called RAG, retrieval augmented generation. And if you want to learn that, there's a couple of them here, but it's really hard for like people who are just beginner in this field to get started. It typically took months, if not years, to have the fundamental in place and also have like some practical skill that you can utilize to build such application. So it's really hard, but it could be a lot easier than just like doing this. So the way to solve that is to have a knowledge before AI engineer. It's actually a no base for AI engineer, for beginning AI engineers to learn all this technology. Okay, so the idea is that we have, first of all, we have 4 major components. The first one is called elements. Element is we have some of the core elements when it comes to building generative AI application. Prompt engineering or prompting, model and model interface. Well, when I'm talking about interface, mostly like function calling and also like API interface to interact with this model. Vector store or vector DB database, depends on how you call it. Tooling and memory. Those are some of the common things you can find on LangChain, but will make it a lot more easier for you to get started. And architecture will stand for solution architecture. Solution architecture means that what are some of the common practice for you as an engineer to build generative AI powered application. For example, one of the most commonly used chatbot and Copilot models. And we also talk about RAG application, how you could do that, how can you implement that, and then some of the emerging interface, including not just like new UI, but also injective workflows that we were talking about in this product. And also like domain annotation. It's really important. I would say that's one of the most important things you do as an engineer is you fine-tune model and also do retrieval, information retrieval using such technologies. What I mean by fine-tuning is updating the weight of the model so that you can inform like new information or having a new behavior that's aligned with your objective. And we are talking about not just fine-tuning and alignment, also RAG, and we also talk about how to have a strategy at first to selecting whether we want to go fine-tuning first or RAG second, or even just do prompt engineering alone. And apart from that, we have events and channels. It's really important because events and channels are the source of knowledge, I would say, in this context. Learning platform, for example, you can click into, we have already created some of the most commonly used learning platform, like LangChain DOS, Coursera, MIT, OCW, C50, and so forth. And also the platform, we are working hard on that to organizing and summarizing those content for you to get started. So that would be an end solution for everything, but that would be a start for you to quickly pick up and get the project rolling. And also we are conferences. We list a bunch of technical conferences for developers, also for those who are interested in frontier research. We list like NERPs, like SML or SLR, and also a bunch of like developer conferences that you might be interested in it. And so the idea of in time, once you purchase this, the idea is that you can start exploring the content, and we will also include a getting started guide for you to navigate it through all this component, big 4 component. Whether you want to look out for the latest podcast or info channel, and you can start right here instead of like starting from the elements. If you want to look out for like prompting guide, so you can directly jump into that. And so we already have a guide for you, and also a learning part. So lastly, we will have a learning part. Like we will provide notebook, and we're also providing some more notebook templates for you to get started with note taking on those technology and keep learning about that. And adapting is to add your own content. This stuff is a framework. It's a orchestrating framework for AI engineering. And so we don't want to like tell you everything what you should do. We kind of just give you a hint or suggestion first, so you can get this thing rolling. And after that, you can adapt this entire template into your own version. So that's basically what we trying to help you with, and some of the core idea of that. But apart from that, this is an AI product. We also facilitate custom GPT for you to be like, for example, you can open it. So here, so we're going to ChatGPT here. We have a wingman or copilot, as you say, for AI engineers. So you can, okay, so if, for example, if you are learning about like, here we have fine-tuning alignment, and there's a method called, like, for example, direct preference optimization. It could be daunting first to learn this, so you can ask like, what is direct preference optimization? And the AI will basically respond in based on telling me information that what is DPO, right? We call it DPO in AI engineering community. So we were general responses, and we were putting all of our knowledge base into that, so you can get started right away. So I think there's a problem with the ChatGPT now, so we might not able to access that. That's fine. So that's basically the core idea of this product. We are working hard right now as a company to provide best-in-class orchestration for you by creating and summarizing and organizing everything that you need to get started as a beginning or is even as an experienced AI engineer. So we are glad to welcome you to join this revolution. We hope that the product could be released before 4th of July, before Independence Day. But if that is not possible, we can try to make it before like mid-July, before the end of this month. So we're glad for you to join this community and this revolution as well. And we're glad that you are learning this technology so that we can make more exciting and beneficial product in the future for the people everywhere. Yeah, thank you very much for your listening. And this is Smart from Mindify AI.